podcast for me. Will I make it? Will I take it to the top?
What up? Real Coach JB here. My main man Spree.
What's going on?
Another day, another dollar podcast. This is episode 10, man. It seems like we've done 10 of them so fast. It's only been a few weeks. We're still learning and getting our feet wet in this process. So excuse us.
We're drowning.
Yeah, excuses for any fuck-ups we may have here and there. But this is the Slap Dick Podcast, so hence the name. We fuck up, and it's real shit.
Real life shit every day.
You get what you get, and I don't give a fuck if you don't like it. Quote of the day, fellas. This is real quick and simple. 2020. It's a great year to have a great year. That's not the quote, but make sure you guys are making this year a great one. But listen, 2020 already.
Man.
Effort requires zero fucking talent, man. Effort requires absolutely zero talent. And that goes for everybody in everyday life, man. You know, whether you're a CEO, Fortune 500 company, or if you're a football coach, or if you're a damn line worker on the docks, or whatever you do, bust your ass, work hard, turn over rocks, and you never know, something good may happen. And usually good shit happens to good people. So effort requires zero talent. So hot topics of the day, man. First of all, man, it's January 2nd, or what is it, 3rd? January 3rd, Friday, and, playoff weekend starts tomorrow.
Yes.
Some bowl games have happened, New Year's Day, some bowl games, different things. My dumb ass went out and got another fucking family member. Her name is Callie. It's a pit bull female. It's a companion for Stogie. I've been taking a little heat on Twitter about this deal.
Really?
People think they know me. They're like, you're buying it to breed, and you can't breed her, and she's not old enough. And First of all, she's 8 weeks old. No fucking shit she's not old enough to have babies.
And Stogie's name is R. Kelly, by the way. So don't worry about all that age shit.
Yeah, sorry. We're trying to keep Stogie from fucking Spree every day. So that's why I went out and got him a companion. Now, that doesn't mean it's for having babies right now. If we have babies, we have babies. If not, we don't. But he deserves another companion so he can stay busy and calm his ass down. He's 2 years old now, so he deserves something. So, that's what we've done, and let's clear the airways on that shit. Listen, man, David Stern, a lot of people credit David Stern with creating what the NBA is today, which is a great league, and the Silver runs it now, but, David Stern ran it and created a lot of great things that continue to happen every day in the NBA is started and created by David Stern. He passed away, unfortunately, 77 years old, so I know losing someone like that at that age is unfortunate. He wasn't that old, relatively speaking, so he passed away, man. R.I.P. David Stern, his family, and I know the NBA's,
he did a lot of things for the league.
Yeah, so they've lost a great one, and, I know everyone's mourning over him. So some bowl games happened over the weekend, or over the week. The Rose Bowl still, in my opinion, continues to be the granddaddy of them all. The atmosphere was great. It was packed. It was a great show after the Rose Parade, obviously, in Pasadena, California. A great matchup. Oregon played Wisconsin. A pound team in Wisconsin plays great defense against an Oregon team that wants to try to spread you out, go fast. Not like the Chip Kelly era fast, but they have their own identity and under Mario Cristobal. So Oregon beat them out, man. They got them. They got the win. It was a great game, I thought. I mean, Oregon only had 20 yards total offense in the whole game. And I thought that was remarkable to win the game. They got I know they got a special teams or a defensive score. Wisconsin botched a punt. The punter just dropped a snap. Simple as that. They replaced the punter later on. But they lose 28-27, I believe, by one. So it was a good game. Or Georgia, they beat Baylor. It was another decent matchup as far as rankings go. One of my kids, Jermaine Johnson, got a bowl win with Georgia.
And Baylor should have pulled that,
Yeah, it was. They were getting beat like 19-0. They came back, made it interesting, but it wasn't never really was out of Georgia's grasp.
Baylor coach was just fucking over there.
Well, he's entertaining the NFL.
Oh yeah,
he's entertaining NFL games. He let his team know that he was entertaining NFL teams.
Oh shit.
And I think when you do that with 18, 19, 20-year-olds, I believe that the kids they'll shit on you now. They don't know. I don't think they realize what's all at stake or what's at hand. So
it's all about that money, baby.
Yeah. So Georgia pulls that off. Alabama beats Michigan pretty handily. My boy Coach Sarkisian called a great game on offense. I thought they ran a couple of things that would fuck Michigan up. Michigan has a pretty decent defense, so I think they handled them. The receiver for Alabama is just different. Judy, I think his name is. He's just a lot better than Michigan's defensive backs were. And Harbaugh is fucking an average Jim. I guess I'm going to call it Jim Harbaugh. That motherfucker's average. Just so you know, P.J. Fleck, second year at Minnesota, has already won 11 games in that conference in his second year. Jim Harbaugh has yet to win 11 games at Michigan. So, relatively speaking, where the fuck is going on? How can Michigan not win 11, but Minnesota can win 11? Blows my mind that he makes, $9 million a year? Harbaugh does. So there you go with that. We have a guest coming on today. One of my former players, man. I think the world of the kid, Coy Deng. He's a starting linebacker at the University of Cal Berkeley. They won a bowl game, the Red Box Bowl game. They beat Illinois this past week, and he'll be coming on a little bit later on the show. Not too long away. Last little thing for the hot topics. We got NFL playoffs coming up. I want to give you my picks and Spree's thoughts on the playoffs. The Bills got the Texans, Spree. I'm going to go with the Texans because of the experience in this deal. Mm-hmm. First year quarterback with the Bills. I think Deshaun Watson's battle tested. I think Coach O'Brien at Texans has been there, done that. I think he's a winner. I think they're going to play well. Who you got?
I'm running with the Bills, man.
You going to go with the Bills?
Yeah, the Bills. The Bills in the building.
Okay.
They play good ball. The young QB is doing his thing. As long as he don't fuck up.
Yeah, that's not.
That's
That's the easiest thing to say.
Yeah, the turnovers and shit. Don't fuck it up. You know what I mean? So they're in that New England league and all that. I think they're better than New England.
Well, New England beat them twice.
Yes, but that's still a little better.
Yeah, well,
playoffs.
That's an oxymoron, I guess. But we'll go with what he said on that. He is a slapdick. He is wearing a slapdick sweater for a reason.
Bills.
He's my boy, but shout out to Lonnie Johnson, the corner number 32 for the Texans. Played for me at Garden City in JUCO. Brought him out to Garden City years ago, and he was a second-round pick this year for the Texans. He's doing well this year. Okay, I got the Titans at the Patriots. Okay, I'm going Patriots. I just got to go with the veteran leadership. It's hard to go against them in a wild card matchup. I think New England's pissed that they're in a wild card game. I think they're going to have something to prove. But hey, we'll see.
Shit, didn't they beat them already once during the season?
I don't know. I'm not sure on that one. But I do know it's a wild card game and it's in New England, and Titans are playing well. I think they're playing well. I like the quarterback right now. He's Tannehill. He's playing well.
That running back.
Yeah, Henry's gonna be hard to stop.
Shit, motherfucker's big.
Yeah, so I like the Patriots in that one just because of
me too. Just because of the fucking Patriots.
Yep. Okay, moving on to the NFC. Vikings versus the Saints. 2 years ago, they had a great matchup. It was a great game. I don't know. I'm leaning towards the Saints.
Who that?
Yeah. I'm leaning towards the Saints and Drew Brees to get it done. I just don't think that Cousins can win the big one. He's yet to win on a Monday night fucking game. I surely ain't going to pick him to win a fucking playoff game. I'm leaning towards the Saints. You?
Yes. Who that? Saints.
Who that, huh?
I got my who that hat on
Hence
today.
the hat on.
the hat on today, and I'm a Rams fan, but I follow the Saints. Got people from Louisiana, and yeah, go Saints, man.
Okay, so leading up to our next NFC game, we got the Seahawks, who won 11 games, having to travel to fucking Philadelphia because they won the shittiest conference in football.
That's practice. You talking about this a wild card or is that practice? Scrimmage game.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I mean, I like Coach Peterson at the Eagles. I think he does a great job, but with not as he's been. I know the Eagles have fucking damaged goods this year. They're hurt. They're banged up. He's done a hell of a job with what they've had, from what I've seen. But I'm just gonna have to go with Coach Carroll and the Seahawks in this one. I think Marshawn Lynch will have a even more lead in the tank, I believe, this week, and I think he'll prove and show out. And I think Seahawks come back home and get ready to play a division winner. Yeah,
Beast's gonna be able to practice, get one more practice scrimmage game in, get his legs up under him with this game.
Yeah.
Shit, Seahawks, man, but they gotta change the bullshit with the playoffs and all that, man. All these garbage ass teams making it in wild card, you know what I mean? That shit's garbage to me. Yeah. That'll be on a whole another topic, you know what I mean? But get rid of these fucking sorry ass teams making this fucking wild cards and shit.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that's just kind of like how we were talking the other day about the BCS bowl games. Man, I want to give a shout out, man, to Sam Wyche. If any of you young guys don't know who Sam Wyche is, he was the Cincinnati Bengals coach for a long time. He passed away he passed away last night or yesterday afternoon, Thursday, unfortunately. So I wanted to give another shout out. Not only David Stern passed, but Sam Wyche passed. Could have won a few Super Bowls, man. Had a great couple shots. If it wasn't for those Niners, but he could have had a few more. So Sam Wyche, great coach, with the Cincinnati Bengals, passed away Thursday January 2nd. So two good ones are already gone in 2020, unfortunately. Time don't play. It's a thief in the night. But remember, effort requires zero talent, and we're gonna get in to our call, man. Mr. Coy Deng, like I said, he's a starting linebacker at Cal. Did a great job this year. Played for me at Independence last year on the show, and we'll talk about the show and a couple things. Why he chose not to be around the cameras as much as a lot of other people, and some other topics we'll discuss. And then Spree's a former linebacker himself, so he'll have some questions for Deng. And it's a different ball game than we played when we played, but Spree will understand what he's going through if he hasn't watched him yet, because I think Coy's plays a little bit out of place because of their scheme, and we'll bring all those things up, and I want to appreciate Coy for coming on, and he'll be calling in, and we'll get after it. So look forward to that, and then we'll come back to you after Coy leaves, and we'll get back to a few more things that we have on the discussion board. So we're going to talk about a couple things about high school recruiting and high school transfer rules in California, the CIF rules. A buddy of mine was getting after it with one of the LA Times beat writers on Twitter. I noticed it. I asked my main man to come on the show. He respectfully had to decline, but we will get him on maybe one other day, but I'm going to discuss it for him. So, hey, Coy Deng will be calling in right now, and we're gonna welcome him to the show. Mr. Deng, what's going on?
Hey, what's good, Coach?
Man, you good? Can you hear me well? Do I got you? You hear us?
Yeah, I'm also I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Hey, my main man Spree, man, he played linebacker with me in college, man. He's also one of my co-hosts, man. He's on and
what's going on, Corn?
Can you hear him?
Hey, what's up, Spree? How you doing? Yes, sir.
Okay,
Good.
Cool. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. We won't hold you too long. I know it's a day after New Year's and all that stuff, so we're trying to, get this podcast going, man. I said everybody wanted me to do one, so I said, shit, I might as well, man. So get it going, and I'm going to have Jermaine come on, and Emmett, and a couple other guys, Calvin Jackson, and a couple guys from before you came to Indy. Emmett Gooden, who's at Tennessee and got hurt this year, and Rakeem Boyd and a few other guys are going to come on, and it'll be interesting. But I wanted to get you on, man, because if the fans out there don't know, Coin was one of my favorite kids, man. I think he was the best leader by far, our only leader last year on our team, and I think he exemplifies, man, leadership and class act, man. So I appreciated the hell out of him for his tenure there with me. I wish we had a better damn year. We had a horrible season based on a lot of things, and we'll get to that. But man, I got to ask you, man, how's your grades? I don't care about none of that other shit. You know me. How's those grades, man? I know they're good. If I had to bet my house on it, I would say they're good. But you are at Berkeley, and it is a great damn educational institution. So how's the grades going, man? They a little different than Indy?
The grades are good, man. Yeah, it's a little tougher here, but I think I'm doing all right.
Good.
I'm just trying to stay up on everything.
No doubt. I know you are, man, and I know you're a hell of a time manager, so I know you can manage football with the classrooms like a lot of kids can't do when they transition from JUCO to D1. So getting into that, man, how was the holidays? You straight?
Yeah, the holidays were good. The holidays were straight. I was with the family, and
good.
We played the bowl game. We came back for the bowl game, and then New Year's, I just did some security work, some security in the city. They pay good. So.
Heck yeah, we'll get into all that college paying stuff later on. But yeah, I hear you. That's unfortunate. You got to work. That's crazy. But so what's been the biggest transition, man? I know you just won a bowl game, so congrats. I hit you up the other day. You won the Red Box game against Illinois. You guys beat an NFL former head coach. And I know a couple guys on that staff well, and so they were playing well this year too. They could have beat a couple, teams this year. They came back and played well and beat Michigan State, I know, and so they were probably not no pushover, but you guys handled them pretty well, I thought. Won a bowl game. That's a huge feat. I don't care what bowl game it is. I mean, a college bowl game goes down in your football history lore, so to speak. So you could have that forever. What's been the biggest transition from JUCO to Cal or to four-year institution like a Division I, Pac-12, Power 5 school that you're at?
That's a good question. I think for me personally, the transition was probably just on the field, being asked to play different positions and do some different things that I had done before. So it was something that I had to, be in the playbook a lot, study a lot, and get a lot of mental reps and a lot of reps on the field. So,
no doubt. Now I talked to Spree before you called in. He don't know really nothing much about you, but I told him, I said, Coy's 6'6", what are you weighing now? 240 around there still? You beefed up yet?
No, I'm still sitting around like 225, 230.
Okay. So Spree, so he's 6'6", 230. He's playing he's playing a lot of inside backer for them based on their scheme.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I know there's coaches over there, Coy, and I know that it's you guys are playing a lot of that stuff, and I know what you guys are doing schematically, so I know why you have to play it. But a lot of the average Joe fans out there, they may think 6'6", and they may think you're supposed to be outside stand-up guy, rushing the passer and all those things.
Willie McGinnis type.
Willie McGinnis type who Spree played with growing up. So we understand it, but maybe you can like give the fans kind of a breakdown on why you're playing a lot of inside backer compared to rushing the passer from the outside because of the scheme or what have you. So you might want to talk to them about that just a little bit so you can explain the transition, because you played outside backer and a lot of edge, carried second route runners up the field vertically and at Independence and junior college. And now you're playing more in the box. So explain that a little bit as far as the transition, as far as that goes.
Yeah, so on every football team, it's all about, the personnel that you have and what they're capable of doing. And so, for me, it's one of those things where playing on the outside is something I could certainly do if I'm asked to. But, just for my team and what we need to get done, I think, being on the inside was important. And they had a lot of trust in me to be able to be on the inside, to communicate, and to, make plays and tackle the ball carriers and be productive. So that's kind of where we're at with that.
How'd your body hold up playing that inside spot, having to take on more, interior guys coming in, trying to get second level to you and trying to get a hat on you. And I know you're athletic as hell. And I know you got banged up. You got a little labrum. I know it takes a toll on you, man. You're tall, long, and athletic, and you're having to take on guards and double teams and trying to work to the backer level. And you're trying to defeat that.
It's a little different down in the trenches, huh?
Yeah, and plus you're having to deal with RPO and the Pac-12. I mean, has that been a challenge, or you took it on head on, and like I know you do, and it's been okay. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to take that challenge on and be able to compete. And be able to have a chance to get in on just about every play. So It's been cool. I mean, you get to make more tackles and you get to communicate and have some leadership on the defense. So for me, it's been a lot of fun. And in terms of the body, I mean, I was able to play in all 13 games, play a majority of the snaps.
Yeah.
And so to be able to do that, come out of the season relatively healthy, that's a blessing in itself. So not everybody can come out of the season, play that many snaps, and be able to, end the season healthy. And so, I got to get a little labrum surgery, and there'll be a little bit of recovery that comes with that. But, to be able to stay on my own 2 feet and play the entire season, that's a blessing in itself. So,
no doubt. And I know you're a hard nose and you weren't backing down and you ain't going to turn shit down. So let them fans know. I know a labrum wasn't going to stop you. So that's kudos to you for that and the staff and everything. So let me ask you this, man. We got, they want to know, like, the Last Chance U, obviously, so everybody knows. Coy was on our show, and he was on this Last Chance U show when they filmed us, which I could care less about as far as the cameras, and either could Coy, which I appreciated. A lot of guys want to be on the camera. A lot of guys wanted to have their Twitter followers go up, so to speak. Coy never did. He didn't give a shit. He stayed low. He handled his classroom stuff. His head was in the books and in the film room, and he knew his opponent like no other. And that's something you got to respect out of a guy that's coming from he came from another university, came to us, gave us a shot to get him to where, he couldn't get himself. And that's what my job was ultimately, to get those guys 4 year. We had 40 guys go Division I, and he did. He's one of those guys, and he had many offers. So everybody knows out there, he had many offers. But Coy, a lot of guys might want to know, okay, we didn't see him on the show that much. Why not? Because you were one of the better players, obviously, the number one outside backer in the country. Jermaine Johnson was voted the number one player in the country with the hype that he had coming from his other year in JUCO. So you're on a team with a lot of talent, obviously, that when a lot of Division I kids went D1. Why did you choose to not be on the cameras as much, and what was your whole philosophy as far as that whole thing goes?
I mean, for me personally, it just didn't really feel like the right platform that I wanted to have to get where I wanted to get. With my situation personally, I was coming from another 4-year university, FCS school. I wasn't highly recruited out of high school. And, I wanted to raise my stock and prove myself right. And so for me, it was more so in that year about, just taking care of my own business, keeping my head down and just making sure I could get where I wanted to get. So for me, it just didn't feel right. Didn't feel natural, personally. So that was kind of my whole philosophy with it.
No doubt. And you saw everything going on, and you saw the knucklehead side of it, all the idiots that wanted to play around in the dorms and all that shit, and you heard this drama and you saw it yourself. Tell the fans, like, why are you different, and why didn't you make that left at the stop sign and you did like what I would preach every day, make a right at the stop sign? Why'd you make that right? Why did you have the tough skin and a lot of guys don't? Why do you think junior college kids fall for the okie doke, so to speak, and they go they travel the path with the least resistance, so to speak? So why did you go the harder way and the more humbling route compared to these other guys? Let everyone know, why is it that way? Why does JUCO kids get a bad rap? And half of it, you could be real, because some of them fuck up and some of them are there for the reasons that you're there for, which is out of necessity. Some guys go there because they didn't have the grades or they got kicked out of a 4-year or whatever. Just so everybody knows, Coy did not get kicked out of a 4-year. He came out of necessity because of a bad situation. We gave him another shot, and we wanted to help him get to the next level. But he saw a lot of kids get cut. He saw a lot of kids do stupid shit, and I'm sure he still sees it. But what made you different, and why do you think there's so many kids that can't get right?
Yeah, I mean, you know better than anybody else. JUCO it could be a platform, to shoot yourself upwards, or it could be, somewhere where you slip through the cracks. And for me, I made the choice to leave VMI, the FCS school. It's a military school, and I want to play at a higher level. Not necessarily didn't know if I wanted to be in the military, and so. For me, I knew that it was going to be one or two things when I got there. And so, I could shoot myself forward or I could slip through the cracks. And, I just really didn't want to go out sorry, to be honest.
Yep.
And, I had people who believed in me, people close to me, and I just wanted to make the most opportunities. So that's kind of where I was at.
No doubt. I mean, being around, man, having a cup of tea in the NFL myself, playing at that level and sending so many kids to 4-year schools and 27 plus to the NFL, and I knew when I saw Coy walk in the room the first day, he was about business. I think I'm a good judge of character. He had that it factor when he walked in, and I know he'd been through quite a bit, and I know he, give the fans a little bit of your background, Coy, and I'm going to spin off of it. Kind of give them your ethnicity, where you're from, your background real quick, just briefly.
Yeah, so, my family comes from South Sudan, and some people who don't know too much about Sudan, basically, my family came to America, like, in the early 90s as refugees of the Civil War out there. So, my parents and my older siblings were traveling around East Africa to different refugee camps and made it here to America, a few years before I was born. And so I grew up with 5 siblings, single parent household, my mother, and we moved around some different places. So I was born in San Diego. I was born in Southern California. Spent a lot of my younger life in the Midwest. So grew up in like the Minneapolis area, Minnesota. Also lived in Northwest Iowa. And then kind of ended up in Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C. And that's where I went to high school.
Yep, good. That's what I was going to get to. I was just like, for a kid that's gone around, I was not known, Spree, as you know, to have a lot of color in it. You know what I'm saying?
We know that.
So, Coy going around from San Diego, which does, you go to Iowa, then he goes out to the East Coast.
All right.
And, I know military background stuff that does that, but, and he goes on the East Coast, and then, he was at a school that had some issues, so he wanted to get away from it, and we don't need to go into it, but he got out of there, and I knew when he left there, for the reasons he left there, I knew that it was a good situation. I knew he was a kid that needed to get out and get back to a 4-year, so I knew he had the tough skin to do it, and he did, and he proved me right, and I appreciate the hell out of it.
Sound like Coy, you was on a mission, man, to do what you have to do. You sound, it sound like you're real professional, already at a young age, and a lot of cats don't have that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh yeah,
no doubt. What look, Coy, we had some fan questions, man, that we shot out there, man, and the show likes people that controversial, so I guess your old coach, I guess he's controversial, man. I don't know. I thought I was just a normal cat,
Oh yeah.
But we had my Twitter followers went up and shit, being on Netflix a couple years. So we shoot out questions now, and we get all this stuff. So look, man, there's a question here, and they want to know. And it's funny. I want you to be real. You don't got to sugarcoat nothing.
This is the Slap Dick
podcast. Yeah, I do that.
I already know. What was the best part about playing for Coach Brown?
Oh shit.
Here we go. So, I'll be honest. When I first got there, we come in and we bring all these guys in, and there's so much turnover every semester. And so I got there in January with a whole new group of guys, and y'all were just putting us through it, like, boot camp style, and cussing everybody out, this, that, all that, and I wasn't sure how I felt about you when I first got there.
Yep.
Obviously, just off all of that, but as I gained respect, through hard work in the program, and we started speaking more one-on-one, and I was able to come into your office. We started to build a relationship. I really, all of my opinions changed, and I have a lot of respect for the way you look out for us and me specifically, and just understanding that if there's anything I ever needed, I could go to your office and have that conversation. And so, I guess it was just I realized that it was two different people. The way that it is in front of the entire team. When you got to set people straight and keep them on the right path, and then there's the individual relationship. And I think, especially towards the end, I think the individual relationship really began to grow. So,
no doubt,
I could go in and talk to you and be good to go. So.
No doubt. Yeah. I appreciate it, man. I mean,
whatever you thought about him, Coy, from the get-go, that's who he is. Don't let him fool you. I got to deal with this motherfucker every day. You know what I'm saying?
I was like,
I'm going to peel the skin off the onion.
and the crazy thing is, I remember we used to have team meetings, so I had maybe been there for a week, 2 weeks, and they would film the weight room sessions. They would film all the weight room sessions, especially the new guys, to see how hard they would work and to see if they would fall during the list. I remember we were in a meeting, and it was like, they put the camera on me, and it was in front of the whole team. They were just talking about the list, the form, how hard you work. Mm-hmm. And I got up on the screen, and he was like, "Hey, this dude fucking Kuony Deng right here. He works hard." He said, "All you new guys, you got to work like this." And I just laughed and just try to kind of keep that good impression from then on.
Oh yeah, he'll put you on blast. I think that's why you didn't want to be on camera with the show. That's the real answer. I'm gonna give you the real answer. You're like, fuck that. I'm not gonna have this white motherfucker cussing me out on this fucking show. Yeah. So you did exactly. A good choice on that, man.
Exactly.
That's why I can't coach with him, man.
Yeah. A lot of people say that, but Coy, I appreciate you, man. That's the thing about that's coaches, man. Even at the 4-year, I don't know what your interaction is with the head guy. I know him pretty well, and I know those guys, but it's hard, man. It turns into a business. At the 4-year level, coaches are professionals. They're paid big money. They have to do what they have to do. But at the end of the day, if I was a Division I head coach, my thing is still, you treat the team the same, but every individual's treated differently, and that's how I was. And I couldn't talk to you the same way as Jermaine. I couldn't talk to you the same way as some slapdick, red shirt. I mean, things change for who you are, and so everyone's different. Some people you can cuss out, some people you don't. I didn't have to cuss out Coy. You know what I mean? And he didn't require it. He didn't have it.
You got to treat. It's like your kids, man. Yeah, it's like your kids. You treat them all a little different. You know what I mean? Yeah, you love them all the same way, but you treat them a little different.
And Coy don't know when you're a head coach. Yeah. When you're a head coach, Dang, when I don't get to really sit down with you like I really wanted to as a coordinator. See, when I was a coordinator, everybody said, "Oh, Coach Brown, JB's the coolest. He's the realest players coach there is." Well, when you're a head coach, you take that different. You can't do it like you used to do it because everybody else sees through you. They want to say, "Oh, I can do this. I can get away with that." Even the assistant coaches, and you know how it is in JUCO, you got young coaches who don't know shit, and they're trying to get there. We got 13 coaches, Division I jobs during my 4 years there, but at the same time, you're still going to get bad mouthed and shit because it's a results oriented business, as you know now. At that level, coaches get fired, man, in this level every day, and we just went through Black Monday. Look how many NFL coaches got fired. I mean, that's just what it is. And now Division I coaches are getting entertained and so on and so forth. So I appreciate it. But look, this is a better question. Second question is, what was the least favorite time or story you got or any of that about playing with me?
Man, so I think it ended up on the show. I think it ended up on the show too. And it was when we went on a little skit, we went on a little losing streak, and you were done with it. You know, a lot of guys were trying to do their own thing,
Mm-hmm.
and so you kind of decided nobody was sacred in the team meeting. And so there was a team meeting where, you know, I think you had just found one of the young coaches, and we were real cool with them, and I think you knew we were upset about it personally, like me, Jermaine, Chance, a few of those guys, and so just right there in the team meeting, you brought it to a face, and you know, just kind of cussed us all out individually. And that was probably the only time I ever got it from you. But I was hot. Yeah, I was mad. I think it showed up on the screen there, but
yeah,
that's probably the only time I could think of.
Yeah. No, I know. We don't need to say names, but I know what you mean. I know. Hey, man, shit happens. You know, I hated that I didn't care about the cameras. I was worried about the microphone because I'm gonna say what I say, and and that leads to the next question, obviously, and it kind of goes hand in hand. But I have my own theory. You may have your own, which is the question I'll ask you in a second. But that's kind of when like I said, when the wheels fell off and it was like, shit, we lose the game by 1 point, we lost the game by 3, we lost another game by 1.
Damn.
And it just became, and then we get blown out by the worst team in the league. And then it's like, okay, now I know, it's bigger than anything else because I've never had a team like this, even though we were as talented as anyone we had played, obviously. Garden City plays for the national championship. We're beating them 21-0 in the first 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That tells you our talent level. That wasn't the problem at all. But, it all falls on me at the end of the day. So I took it like a big boy, and I explained that to everyone. But, the question that people had is why did we have so many kids go Division I, and then we went 2-8? Now, Coy, before you answer, this is my thing. I think we had a bad nucleus, not only coaches. So, at the end of when you're a player, you don't know the ins and outs. You don't know a lot of the things that some coaches do. And that's why I had to get rid of some coaches because at the end of the day, my only concern, Dang, I hope you knew, was you guys. And I didn't give a shit about the coaches as far as how they are. I gave a shit about getting them jobs. I gave a shit about them as humans. But if they fucked up and they weren't doing what they're supposed to do that altered your future, then I got rid of them. And that's what it's about. It's about you guys, and that's especially at the JUCO level. So I'd get rid of them. So, I thought we had a bad nucleus in totality. Coaching, players, we had so many kids just pop up because of the show. I think too many guys wanted to be on camera, and it wasn't just players. Trust me, it was coaches, and I think that's why there was so much disconnect, starting with me and the staff and the kids, because I knew stuff that you guys didn't know. I knew that the cats wanted to be on camera. And that wasn't what it was about for me. I didn't give a shit about the cameras. I was worried about getting Coy Deng to Cal. I was worried about getting Jermaine Johnson to Georgia. I was worried about getting so on and so on and so forth. So my thing is, you know me. Wins and losses don't mean shit to me. I've won enough games in a long time, and if you coach long enough, you're going to have a bad year or 2 or 3. But coming off winning it all the year before you get there on the first year of the show, and then we get the second year, and we have a lot of returners. We got a great, on paper, we got all these big-time players. But, as you know, stars will get you fired in this business. What is your thought? Why did you think we lost so many games by so many close amounts of points? We lost, 3 games by 1, a game by 7. What do you think? What was your whole outtake on it?
Yeah, so I think it was a lot of distractions. There was a lot of distractions going on with the TV show and the cameras, and people wanted to come be around the team and be around Last Chance U. I think that was certainly an issue, and I think the buy-in was going to be really important from the players and from everybody involved in the program. And I think, it was one of those things to where we lost. I think we lost a tough game to Hutch real early.
Yep.
To Hutchinson, who was a really good team.
Yep.
That was, probably close to us in talent level. Talent-wise, we probably had game 2. Talent-wise, we probably, arguably, might have had the most talented team in the country in junior college. But it doesn't mean anything if people aren't bought in 100%.
Yep.
Get caught up in distractions and
own agendas. We had guys on their own agenda. Yeah.
Exactly, and can't put the team first, and so I can't sit around and place blame because I was obviously a part of it, and I sat there. I lost all those games too. So but I mean,
that's your character.
That's where I'm at with that.
You just got high character though, so that's different. There's a lot of guys I bet you I'll bring on the show. They'll say, "Well, coach, because this and that." But I mean,
you had a lot more cats like you. You know what I mean? The season probably been a little different.
Well, the first year we did have more guys like Coy. Even though we had like some fuck ups and we had dudes that wanted to do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, they bought in. Coy, I got a philosophy, man. You win 6 days out the week, and my motto was win. What's important now, but. You win 6 days out the week. I thought the day 7s took care of themselves. And day 7s was obviously for us, Saturdays, game days. I've never had a team lose 6 days out the week. And we lost 6 days out the week, basically all 10 weeks. We had dudes stealing at Walmart. We had cats cussing out people at the burger stand.
Smoking weed.
All the shit. I mean, weed's epidemic. It's everywhere. But I'm just saying, like, we had shit that I've never had under my watch. And at least to where it was transparent. Now, this shit was transparent. It was all over. I was getting calls from managers at burger spots in town. You got a kid cussing me out. Just the little shit that we hated to do. And especially in a town of 9,000 people. In white America. Oh, yeah. Let me keep it real. We're in middle America, white America. And
we went to Kansas, so you know how that goes.
You play, so Dang, he played with me in Kansas in college, so he knows the deal.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
So, he knows. So that's my whole thing, man. I just thought that we had at the end of the day, we had a bad nucleus. And I don't know if the cameras helped anything. Obviously, I think it, like I said, I told TMZ, man, I turned down 400 people. That wanted to just come, that wanted to be a part of it because of the cameras. And that shit was just unbelievable to me. So, that was just one of those things, man. So look, man, what everybody wants to know why Coy Deng, out of all places, chose to go to Cal. Because I've told other 4-year schools, they would LSU and these, I know Coach Ogeron well, and they're playing for the national championship this year. So people might say, well, damn, Deng could be playing for a natty. People, if you guys don't know, Coy Deng was offered by LSU. Didn't even take a visit, did you?
Nah. It was supposed to be after my Cal visit. Yeah. And when I came off my Cal visit, I knew it was the right place. So.
Hey, that's the character you guys are listening to out there. That's the guy.
You fell in love with California. That's what it was.
Nah, he was in Northern Cali.
Went to a couple of bars and stuff and seen the females, and he stayed down this way.
Nah, Dang ain't even like that. But Dang, why was it the right fit? I mean, a lot of people say, you didn't even visit LSU. You had a shot. I mean, Coach O was blowing me up why you weren't coming, and I'm just like, look, this cat's a hair. I met that day we sat in my office with Texas A&M, and they were begging you, and you were like, Coach, I think I made my decision, and I'll never forget that time. And so I knew right then, what you were about, which is real recognize real. You got to respect it, and that's why, me, how I was with those 4-year guys. I'm an asshole, so I'm letting them cats know that you were off the market when you told me you were done. What did Cal have that everyone else didn't have? And sometimes you go with your gut, and I understand it, and it's all obviously worked out for you. If I'm right, I know I could be wrong, but I think you finished 4th in the Pac-12 in tackles. People can argue playing out of position for the most part as far as your body type and your skill set, but at the end of the day, you're 4th in tackles. I think one of your teammates ended up 1st in tackles. So what made Cal the right fit for Coy Deng, and why is it the best fit for you?
Yeah, so for me it was a little bit different. I was a little bit older than some of the other guys coming out of JUCO, and so I'd been somewhere else before. And I think I knew what I was looking for, and so it was cool to get a lot of that attention from a lot of those schools and the SEC and some of those other leagues. But When I got to Cal, it checked a lot of boxes for me. I was just trying to look at it from a holistic standpoint. And so, obviously Berkeley being the number one public school in the entire world, in the nation, and the entire world, obviously that's big right there. That's a big opportunity in itself. And being right there in the Bay Area, with all the opportunities that come with the Bay Area, and Oakland. Oakland's a city that I love to be around. I love the culture. I love all of that. And also, just from a football standpoint, in 2018, Cal had one of the best defenses in the country. And, was bringing the majority of the guys back. And it was one of those things to where it was a team that was ascending in the Pac-12. I really felt like the culture of the team and the coaches and people that were there that all had the same type of values. And so it was one of those situations to where it felt like it made sense football-wise in terms of life and in terms of school. And on top of that, having some family in the area. My oldest brother, we're 12 years apart. Yep. And he has a family. He has a wife and 3 kids, and they live an hour away down in the South Bay. So it was just all types of things that I just felt right when I got there. It felt different than anywhere else I've been before, and I knew what I was looking for. So it's cool. You can get caught up in the hype or trying to go to the biggest, place biggest offer that you get, but it might not be the right place for you. And so I think Cal was just the place where I knew that I was going to be able to succeed in every facet of life and be somewhere that I knew I wanted to be.
No doubt. Much love.
Yeah, I had a question for you, Coy. What was the speed, since you was already at a big college, what was the speed difference when you went to JC? Was there a big difference for you playing at a high level and then going to the JC realm?
Yeah, so I didn't come from a Power 5 FBS program. I came from an FCS school back home in Virginia. And I think going and playing in JC in Kansas, it's a good league with a lot of good competition, and it's a lot of bounce backs that come there, big time recruits, or kids with a lot of ability and a lot of potential. So, it's a lot of big time athletes that play in those leagues. But I think the difference between junior college, the biggest difference between junior college and Division I football is probably just the level of execution and the X's and O's. That's the big difference. Because dudes I played against in Kansas, whether it was at Hutchinson, Garden City, or at some of these other schools, that they could be really good players and they can play on Sundays. But it's just, I think the execution and the between the head is just elevated to a higher level than Power 5 football.
Between them ears and the helmet is a lot different. 90% mental, and that's what the game is, and that's what it is at the next level. And Coy, I never bashed Cal or anything, but I did bash some Pac-12 schools on Pac-12 Network. Obviously, I was invited on Pac-12 Network, and
here we go.
And they asked me, they're like, da-da-da-da-da, and I go, listen, SC should never be as bad as they are. Number one, you're in Los Angeles, arguably the hottest or the best recruiting hotbed in America, and you're at SC, Heisman University. I mean, you're Hollywood. I mean, there's too many things for you to be the last Pac-12 school in terms of recruiting rankings. It blows my mind. So obviously, I talk shit about SC and some other schools, but going to your point, who you played against at Indy, I tell people every day. I said I've been doing this a long time. I got 27 in the league. I got 220 plus Division I kids. I've seen them all. I watch USC, UCLA. I watched Oregon State play Washington State. I saw Arizona State play Arizona. And I'm like, there is literally, Coy, 3 to 4 kids out there that could possibly have played for me at Indy. And I wanted your take on it because, like you just said, there is more talent in the Kansas JUCOs that we played in, and especially on our Independence's team, than there is in the country on a lot of 4-year schools. But it goes back to, can you go to class? Can you stay out of trouble? Can you do the right thing? And there's players that are Alabama offered kids that that don't make it because of academics or what have you, and then they have to go JUCO. So there's a ton of those kids that people don't realize. They're either going JUCO or they're going Division II.
Right.
So there's a lot of great-ass Division I kids that don't make it Division I right out of high school. So guess what happens? JUCO gets them. So that was my whole point. Let me go get them. So Coy, my thing was like, how do you compare the Pac-12 to the rest of the leagues right now? Do you think the Pac-12 is on an upswing now after, you guys beat in Illinois, out in the Big 10? You beat Ole Miss. If I'm not correct, if I'm not right, you beat Ole Miss. You had something to do with that stoppage on the goal line because I watch you play, boy. So. What do you think you compare? You played against an SEC school. I mean, a good friend of mine just took that job, Coach Kiffin. They'll be better than they were, obviously. But how do you compare? Do you think you could compare with those schools right now or the rest of the teams? Or are they down? And do you see them coming up? Or are you just worried about Cal and say, Coach, I don't care about them other schools. I'm worried about us, and I think we're going to have a great 2020. But comparatively, what do you think?
So I'll agree with the point that you made about there being a lot of talent at some of the Kansas junior colleges, and I think at Indy, the talent we had could probably eclipse a lot of 4-year schools. But when you talk about the Pac-12, it's a lot of players. It's a lot of players in the Pac-12. It's a lot of big time players, and so you could talk about SC. Which I won't speak on it too much, just because I don't want to sit around and talk about all of this. But
no doubt.
I mean, that's a team. That's a team that has a lot of big time football players.
Oh yeah, wide receivers. They got probably the best wide receiver crew in America. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I know that.
Yeah, and I seen it on display myself. So
sure.
They got a lot of big time football players, and it's just sometimes it takes time to build a program up to where you want it to be. But
sure.
In the Pac-12, I felt like we were playing against first-round picks, on a weekly basis, and a lot of guys that are going to play on Sunday. So, SC is definitely one of those schools with a lot of NFL talent.
Sure.
And I got a lot of respect for the head coach. He came and found me post-game and shook my hand and told me he thought I was a hell of a player.
Yeah.
And
Coach Helton's a great guy. Coach Helton's a great guy, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I would disagree with the point that, you watch SC play and some of these other Pac-12 teams and 3 or 4 of them will play.
Yeah.
But
so you think there's more players you think there's more players per team than I think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, and I think
you played them.
League.
You played them. I didn't play, so
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the Pac-12 is a league. The Pac-12 is a really good league, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Our biggest issue is just we just all take each other out.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And in your split league, you're another split league, kind of like SEC, East and West. So you're a split league, and Oregon beat a good Wisconsin team yesterday. I thought that showed a lot. I'm glad. Trust me, I'm rooting for the Pac-12. I'm a West Coast guy, so I obviously want the Pac-12 to do well. Over the years, we just haven't fared too well in the bowl seasons. For whatever reason, whether kids want to just go to the league and they want to say, fuck, I don't want to play in this shitty bowl game, or, we didn't make the Final Four, so we want to get out of it and go early, or someone gets hurt and chooses not to try to risk their NFL future. I mean, all those things play into effect. I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just saying we haven't fared well. Washington being the only school a couple years ago that made it to the BCF playoff. I think Cal's a promising school. I think you guys are on the rise. I think Oregon, obviously, and I know you guys up in the north together, you got to beat them guys out. So what are your goals personally and collectively for next year going into 2020?
I mean, we got big goals. Coming off the Red Box, winning the Red Box Bowl was cool, but that's not the end all be all for where we want to be, obviously. So, I mean, you look at our offense. We were 7-0 when we had our starting quarterback for the entire game this year.
No doubt.
He broke his collarbone. We started out 4-0. He breaks his collarbone. We go on a little slide and deal with a lot of injuries and don't execute down the stretch. And we go down the slide, and then we come back and win 4 of our last 5. And so, being able to bring back 11 of our starters on offense from the bowl game and 8 from defense. we got high goals to hopefully be able to compete to win the league and play in the best bowl game we can. So that's basically where we're at as a program. And for me, it's just, trying to elevate and step up as more of a leader and, just get my body right, get my rehab right, putting on a few pounds and just getting ready to have a big year as an individual and as a team.
No doubt. I know you will, and I know you'll lead them. So look, it's your senior year. I know I'm gonna have Rakeem Boyd on, who was one of the leading rushers in the SEC 2 years in a row on arguably the worst team. They haven't won an SEC game, so that tells you that's speaking high quality. It speaks volumes of what he's been able to do in an SEC, playing in Alabama every year, in Auburn, high teams that are great on defense, and then for him to have 100-yard games against those guys. I mean. Obviously, I knew when I recruited him and got him, he was a big-time talent, but he's chose to come back. Obviously, you're coming back, you said as well. What where do you think your stock is? Like, do you care how high you are? Is NFL the end all for you, or do you even say, no, I'm just worried about my degree? My question is to you, I guess, when do you graduate with your BA or your BS, and then what is your future admirations as far as what the playing career goes?
Yeah, so for me, I knew I wanted to be here for 2 years, and to be honest, I feel like I need to come back, and there's some things I feel like I can be a whole lot better than I was. Had a pretty productive year, but I think I can do a lot more.
Sure. So
from that standpoint, and also just making sure to graduate from here. I have a plan to move forward. So, for me, I'll be done here next December.
Oh, good. What's your
I'll
major?
Be done. My major is American Studies.
Cool.
And my concentration is in business, so I'm taking a lot of classes through the business school. And so, yeah, for me, it's just I feel like it's a big off season. I feel like I really know the things that I want to focus on. The plan is clear, and it'll give me an opportunity to be really successful. So just trying to set the bar high and do everything I can while I'm here. And then everything else after that will sort itself out.
No doubt about it. Shit, that's like I said, everybody out there, you get to hear the young man in person. You got to know who he is a little bit, since you didn't get to see him on the show on Last Chance U because of not because of who he is, but because of who he is. So that speaks volumes of Coy Deng and how he is, and he's at a great institution. Coy, I don't know if you know this, but I'm the only JUCO coach ever to send a kid to Cal and Vanderbilt in the same year. People don't realize what the importance of that is. Well,
what is the importance of that, Coach?
Well, Vanderbilt and Cal don't recruit JUCO kids like that. Number one, they're both high academic schools. Obviously, and Coy handled his business. He did his shit. We had another kid go to Vanderbilt, played corner on the same team with Coy. So he went to Vanderbilt, and a lot of Vanderbilt don't recruit JUCO. I know the head coach there real well, and so it's those two kids that handle their business is my point, and got to go to a powerhouse academic school like Cal and Vanderbilt. So I mean, those guys handle their business, and just, for everybody out there, shit, you handle your business, man. I don't care where you're at. Great things happen to great people. And like I said, Coy's one of those great humans in the world, man. And it was a pleasure, Coy, to coach you, man, and get to talk to you again. I have to come check you out this year, man. I'm only about 5-6 hour drive away, especially if you come down and play UCLA or SC. I got to make it, no excuses. So I'll come check you out, and I'm rooting for you, brother, and I hope you ever need anything from me, man. Anything, you know how to hit me, and go from there. But hey, man, kudos to you, and I want to wish you a happy New Year, and thanks for coming on, man, and being part of the new podcast we got going. And we'll see what happens, Coy. I'm just chilling, man, back out here in sunny Cali, and I gotta hook up with you soon, man. But I appreciate everything, man. You know, it's all love on this end. And
I want to ask him something, Coach, before.
yeah, go ahead.
You know what I mean?
Spree got a question for you, Coy.
Well, what to get hyped before the games, or what you listening to, man, as far as music and stuff go?
This guy's a producer,
I'm
Coy.
a producer, so
yeah,
you know,
this motherfucker think he's fucking Drake. And
I try to stay in the mix, man. What you listening to out there?
What I listen to on the game day. So
Yeah, just period or the game day to get hyped.
You know you're in the Bay Area,
Yeah,
dog.
so-
You know I'm an E40 cat. You know, you youngsters don't know about E40 and shit. That's that hyphy shit. Even though I'm from the SoCal. But,
yeah.
But,
Shit. So for me, especially if we play an evening game, we played a lot of evening games this year. When I get up, I'm listening to slower music. I'm listening to like R&B, this jazz, slow music, and as we get closer to the game, that's when I start to pick it up.
Oh shit!
And so once we start getting closer to the game, I might listen to some Nipsey Hussle, some Jay-Z, some I'll listen to The Game, the documentary. I'll listen to Shy Glizzy.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of that music.
Don't mention the game. You know, this cat think he from Compton. So don't mention the game. He get excited over here and shit.
hey, Coy born in San Diego. You heard him say he was in San Diego. He West Coast cat. That's why you heard Nipsey, you heard Game, you hear shit.
But I'm glad you listen to some jazz, man. That's what I do. I listen to everything, man. But I love that jazz to kind of. I put my kids to sleep with jazz, man, when they was little. You know, but that's a good thing that you all over the board with your music, man. Shit.
Well rounded.
Yeah, oh yeah.
No doubt, Coy. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on, brother. And like I said, nothing but the best of luck, man. And like I said, if I can do anything for you, I will. And hopefully we'll hook up soon. And nothing but success, man. And
2020, man.
Have a hell of a year, man. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate you, Coach. First thing I was going to say when I got on was don't get me in trouble. So I appreciate you for not getting me in trouble.
Hey, I would never, man. I would never. Hey. I had a cat deny coming on here today. He was all going coming on, and then he was like, "Shit, Coach, I can't come on there." As much as I love you, you know, he's one of my friends too. He's like, "I can't come on there because of his job title." So I'm like, "Hey, it is what it is, man. You know, a square is a square and a circle is a circle." But I would never put nobody in harm's way, brother. Not to someone I know like you. So now I'll put a slapdick in harm's way, but I ain't gonna put you in one. I get Jermaine on here. I might get his ass fucked over, but not you. Hey man, much love though, man. Tell two of y'all Sopo I said what's up. Quit being a slapdick and call me, and then we'll go from there. All right, brother. Hey, good luck, man. Go enjoy the family and New Year's, man, and I'll holler at you.
All right.
All right, baby.
Yep.
What you think about my man?
Man, good cat. That was a good cat right there.
Nah, that's why I say.
You stayed away from the show. That's big right there in itself.
But you know, people want to relate, or they want to fucking correlate, or however you want to say it. Last Chance U with these other cats, and they don't realize the kids we got on there. Those are kids that you just heard. Coy Deng, man, like shit. That motherfucker didn't want to be on camera. He didn't give us 2 squirts. Like he was worried about getting to Cal Berkeley, and we had a lot of those kids, man. But you know, you only get to see certain kids on the show.
Those are diamonds
maybe not for the right reasons, you know what I mean?
Right. Those diamonds in the rough right there, and you got to polish them, shit.
Yeah, so that was a good deal, man. I think Coy represented himself well. He'll be an NFL guy, though. And you heard it here first on the Slapdick Podcast, 2020, second show. Expect greater things in the future. For the real Coach JB, Spree, out.
Everyone has a favorite photo. Now you can turn yours into canvas wall art at canvasworld.com. Canvasworld.com will print your photograph on a handcrafted custom canvas at the size of your choice. They combine the latest technology and environmentally friendly inks to produce canvas prints that are higher quality than ever available before. And they guarantee their work for life. Maybe that's why 6 of the country's top 10 hotel chains choose Canvas World. Their prices are a fraction of what you'd pay elsewhere, and it's easy. Just upload your photo, choose a size, and you're done. They'll even digitally retouch your photo absolutely free. Place your order at canvasworld.com today and save 35%, plus get free shipping when you enter promo code PHOTO at checkout. Get big canvas prints at big savings at canvasworld.com and save 35% and get free shipping when you enter promo code PHOTO at checkout. Order yours today at canvasworld.com. That's canvasworld.com, where photos become art.
chance. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me. Will I make it? Will I take it to the top? We gon' see. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me. Will I make it? Will I take it to the top? We gon' see. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me. It's the last chance for you. Last chance for me.
Find a God, man. I'm just telling you. Codes, I don't want to fucking hear your mouth. I'm tired of hearing